My father's from Ghana, West Africa, and immigrated to the United States in the 80s, and my mother was born and raised in Oregon. So I grew up in a very bicultural household. The summer of 8th grade, my life changed upside down. My mom got married, was pregnant with my half-sibling, and my 2 step-siblings that are a year and 2 years younger than me moved from Ghana to the United States. So I went from living with a single mom, being the only child, to having 3 new siblings and a stepdad in the picture. That was a really challenging experience for me, socially, emotionally, trying to figure out where I fit in. I think De La Salle became my home because home felt very chaotic for me at that time.
Khadija stood out from day one. She was an advocate for not just herself, but for other students, that it wasn't just about her. She understood that this was a community and she wanted others to do well. And she's one of those students that I will hold dear to my heart forever because she pushed me to be a better teacher. Looking back, I so appreciate that. I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
There's a holistic approach to their education. We participate in community service, we're on sports teams, we're traveling to other universities, we're meeting other students, going on retreats, things like that that other schools don't offer.
I love the idea of corporate work study. I think that it makes a lot of sense to expose students to the work world because I think that's one of the areas in which we don't successfully prepare students. We focus so much on academics. We don't think enough about how those skills are transferable to work or entrepreneurship. I think that there's opportunities for Portland Public Schools to learn from the successes that De La Salle has. I don't know of any other school like it.
Knowing that I wanted to go to college, I started looking at schools around me, and I showed up for my campus tour, and I was the only brown girl in the group of 20, and I was the only person without a parent. So my initial experience with college felt very intimidating and felt very displacing. We can give you $6,000 a year. And so I said, well, how much does it cost to go here? I'm thinking, well, I'm in. I'm just going to pack up and, I'll be here next fall. And he's said something around $30,000 to $40,000. And I immediately knew that this was not an available option for me. And I Googled scholarships in Oregon. And Act 6 scholarship was the first thing that popped up.
The mission of Act 6 is to seek and identify young, diverse leaders that want to attend college and transform the communities that they come from. I met Khadija when she was a senior in high school, obviously at De La Salle, and she shined from the very beginning as a rising leader that was hungry for an education.
Adam Ristic is on the line and he says, I'm calling to let you know that you've been awarded a spot at George Fox. And I immediately dropped my phone and start screaming. Everybody in the parking lot is looking at me, and I just remember feeling like I lost my breath. Somebody sees something in me and is wanting to give me a chance at education.
There is a need and an urgency for diverse leadership in our city. I see De La Salle as an entity that's making that a priority.
I think teaching was something that I knew in the back of my mind that I was called to do. I just was too scared to go forward. So I start applying and I get interviewed at Sabin IB World School, and I walk in and the first thing that I notice is the principal looks like me. She's a biracial woman. She says, I would like to offer you a 5th grade teaching position at Sabin. Seeing De La Salle students work at Sabin makes me super excited and happy because I think it reminds me of the motto, enter to learn, leave to serve. And knowing that the place that fostered me and helped me become the woman I am is also doing that for other women of color.
I was conducting some research about how important it is for students to see mirrors of themselves in teaching positions and in leadership.
I think a lot of what De La Salle is doing is important around institutional racism, and that the kids at De La Salle wouldn't have had opportunities to enter certain workforces or have certain job experience without De La Salle helping to open those doors for them.
Khadija is one of those people who has navigated the system in so many different ways, fair or not, and is now in a position of power where she is getting paid each day to stand in the lives of young people and affirm their dreams and their goals and ensure that they persist.
I think De La Salle is important to Portland because I think it's a place that not only fosters the growth of our students, but prepares them to come back in our community and serve our community. you walk out of that school ready to give back. And I think our city needs leaders who are ready to give back.